These are the 3 biggest mistakes that I see when you're learning vibrato, and I'm gonna show you how to avoid them completely. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Corey. I'm a violinist. We're in our vibrato series talking all things vibrato. If you have missed any of the previous videos, I have a playlist of all of them. This is our 4th video. So we've already talked about what to do before you learn vibrato, the 5 steps to learning vibrato, how to practice vibrato, and today we're talking about the 3 biggest mistakes that I see when you're learning vibrato, and I'm gonna help you hopefully avoid them completely. So the first thing that I see, or I get asked about the most, is my violin is shaking as I'm doing vibrato, or my bow is shaking, like what do I do? And to tell you the honest truth, it's that you're trying to go too fast in your vibrato way too soon. Just don't do that. If you have my vibrato code book, you see the 30-day challenge of learning vibrato, and you know how long it takes to learn vibrato, how slowly you have to move. And if you move as slowly as I'm showing you how and making sure you have every step down really, really well, you're not gonna have to worry about this. But if you are at a place that you're doing vibrato and it's still shaking everything, that's where this is going to come in. Another thing I just want to say quickly about this is a lot of times it's people that are trying to learn vibrato way too soon, and that's why the violin or the bow is shaking. You're not ready to learn vibrato yet. So I think the best way to practice this is to place the scroll of your violin up against a wall very, very gently, and now your violin is firmly placed there and it can't move. Another thing you can do is you can hold your violin right here, so make sure you have the movement nice and firmly, and you've got that noodle bagel with the whole wrist moving, and it's just the violin going, and then add your bow to it, because it should be the exact same as soon as you add your bow. When you're practicing vibrato, your bow moves slowly and smoothly, and it's your vibrato that is moving, just the vibrato. So a lot of times I'll see, don't do that, don't do that, oh my gosh. Slowly. It should be just this relaxed, comfortable movement. The second thing I see the most is when you don't take the anchor off your violin. That's what I call it. What I mean is this. When you're learning how to play the violin, your first finger is right here up against the violin. You have 2 contact points on your hand. Your first finger here and your thumb over here, right? Well, when you learn vibrato, you have to take that first finger anchor off the violin so you can actually move your hand and do vibrato. If he's going up and down the violin like that, it's going to actually shake your whole violin. So going back to point number 1, this could also be shaking your violin. So taking your anchor off the violin so that it's not wiggling the whole thing will actually help a lot, and it's off on all the fingers. Doesn't matter what finger I do, my first finger never goes back on the violin, especially when you're trying to do those big, beautiful vibratos. My hand is off the violin. Do you see that? Because this is something else. If you keep your first finger stuck to the violin and you're trying to do vibrato, if you look now, my bow is shaking, and because my whole violin is going, so that will make the whole thing shake. So in that case, that's where you do want to make sure you have your anchor off the violin. So kind of those first 2 points go together a little bit. Point number 1, if your violin's shaking, put it up against the wall, try that. But if all else fails, your anchor's probably on. And the third one that I see so much is trying to go too fast, too soon. Go back and watch the How to Practice Vibrato video. Go through those 30 days, practice your vibrato like that. Do not try and go too fast, too soon, because that's gonna create the issues of maybe you're not moving your wrist, you're just moving your finger like this and just doing finger vibrato. Another thing that I see too, along with this is trying to go too fast, too soon, is trying to take your hand off the violin and bring it down here, being like, oh, I should be able to do it down here now. No, it doesn't work like that, okay? Take those 30 days, do it in position the whole entire time, and then slowly start bringing it down. And remember, when you take your wrist off the violin, we're just gonna gently, barely take it off and do the exact same thing we were doing before, but just off the violin. And again, that anchor has to come off at the same time, and that's gonna be super helpful to just let your vibrato flow. So those are the 3 biggest vibrato mistakes that I see the absolute most in my 16 years of teaching. Kind of every single time it's one of those 3. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave it down in the comments. I'd love to get to know you guys and have a chat with you. But if you have not yet watched the previous 3 videos, like I said, this is the 4th one in our series. If you've not yet watched the previous 3 videos, go back and do that, talking all about all things vibrato. And then if you need some helpful resources, again, you can download my book, The Vibrato Code, as well. In there are 25 vibrato songs that are so awesome for the violin specifically. Like I specifically wrote them to play really well on your violin, as well as have be really easy to play vibrato with as well. I hope this helped with those 3 mistakes and how to avoid them. And I will see you guys next week in our very last video for the vibrato series. Bye.